Monkey. Hey friends, what's up? Welcome to a new episode of Is It My Team or Do I Suck? Today we are doing a new character, Junkrat. Haven't done a Junkrat replay before. I'm trying to get through all the characters. Eventually I will need help, especially when Mercy comes around. I have no clue about Mercy. It's probably the character I look forward to the least reviewing. I get like 10 soldier replays a day. We had one Junkrat in the entire week, so I guess today is your lucky day. Today's contestant is Walter White, also known as Kratos in game. He is currently in Plat 3 and he thinks he belongs into Diamond 1. Thought I'd send a replay since I think I'm in Elo Hell and I'm sure it's real, and I feel like I'm playing good at least 85% of my matches, and my supports go a terrible comp, making some games unwinnable. My biggest problem is sometimes I get too arrogant and die. But this game I barely died and got a lot of kills. I play a few heroes in this game and one of them being soldier, so don't roast me too hard. My aim is pretty good, I think, and I play life well most of the time, barely dying. So let's see what you have. You're playing Junkrat on Oasis, and the first thing I can tell you is I do think your positioning here is just straight up wrong. So for Junkrat in specific, there's two different playstyles you can apply. One of them is spamming long corridors, which is the more gambly playstyle, I want to call it. What you should do instead, in my opinion, even start out, is you want to hold one of the tight angles. The tighter the angle, right, the less space there is for the enemy team to run up to you, the more likely you are to hit one or multiple of your grenades. You can start out top left here and spam down this choke and nobody can basically touch you, right? If they walk into you, they either die instantly to the grenade or you shoot them after with a concussion mine. Even better, in my opinion, is you hold this right corner. There Hanzo is actually playing the game kind of correctly and is already putting a lot of pressure on the rest of your team because he has the off angle. You just sitting here doesn't really cover much. You already have a torp that's on point, that's holding this angle. The turret is covering the exact same angle you do. You want to be where your second DPS is not, in most cases, right? You never want to hold the same angle so you can cover multiple. And if you look at their team, right, Genji's holding main and Hanzo is holding right side. If you start out the fight this way, there's already a good chance you're gonna lose. Now, eventually you go left and it's lucky that you're... Okay, wait. Patience. The Hanzo has no clue you're coming. If you take the time to aim, you will kill him. If you don't panic and hard spam, you will kill him. But instead, you just kind of walk in, use none of your nades, and you just spam, right? And then... Here's the issue with the nerfed mines, right? If you're not really precise, the first one didn't hit at all. Yeah, that was a direct hit, right? And that got him below half. It still has 120 or 130 if you hit like the full damage. It doesn't matter in this case. You won, but you definitely didn't carry the fight, right? So when you say you're playing your life well, this is what you want to go for. I'm happy that you're finally holding this angle and you can force that Junkrat out. And here you go. See? It is so scary for the other DPS to fight a Junkrat on that distance in a tight corridor because there's a really high chance you can just burst them down and one-shot them. And that's where Junkrat's strength comes in. And now you clean up the tank, you know. There are some situations where shooting the tank is good as a DPS, but as a DPS you really want to go for the enemy DPS or the enemy supports. In Overwatch 1 you would get the same ult charge from tanks and from DPS/supports, but in Overwatch 2 you actually even get lower ult charge.
Oh my god.
What is happening? A tree. Oh my god, they're having sex. I was in biology class in 5th grade. That's not actually how plants reproduce, in case you guys didn't know. I think a bee flies to the female, from the male plant, lands there, gets the pollen and flies to the female. So I guess it's like a threesome. But yeah, as soon as you realize the enemy team is moving in, what are you shooting at? Ah, it's Junkrat. You hit anyways. I'm excited for the soldier round, dude. Yo, you got one. You killed the Reinhardt. Pro tip for my Reinhardt players watching this Junkrat review: you can cancel the charge. Okay, I mean that was so one-sided. I'm kind of actually worried for the next round. You didn't even use tire. Bro, if you swap to soldier now, I had like stuff prepared, you know, like stuff I was gonna say about Junkrat that are actually useful. Let me get this out before we watch the soldier. Biggest mistake people use with tire is they don't use it in the right moment. They use it either way before the fight starts or they use it after the fight is already over. Both of those are bad, right? If you use it before the fight, the enemy team is just gonna wait for the tire and shoot it and then engage the fight. So you're kind of gambling on the enemy team missing your tire. And if you use it after you're up to or down to, you lose the fight either way, even if you get a fat tire. So what you want to do is you want to wait until both teams engage each other and then use the tire. They can turn around for the tire and then get shot by your team and your team is gonna kill them, right? And then it's fine that your tire doesn't kill anyone. Or they ignore the tire, in which case your tire is gonna get a kill. Or they have to back out of the fight and try to shoot the tire, in which case, again, your team is probably gonna get a kill. I feel like I play really good at least 85% of my matches, and my supports go terrible comp, making games somewhat unwinnable. I'm not saying you did bad, but I couldn't even tell you did well so far because you've done nothing. Like, the enemy team was dead before you could even use a single tire. That was so one-sided, I couldn't even... I actually do not mind the soldier swap for this point, because I do think the more open the map is, the worse Junkrat becomes usually. So on a map like this, I do prefer soldier over Junkrat, even though that being said, I value the only DPS I value lower than Junkrat right now is soldier. Besides the point, I love the character. And see, like, this is what I mean. Like, it seems to me like you just submitted a replay where you, like, just roll them, but it's not actually you doing anything. It's the enemy just feeding. The fight starts, you shoot the diva mech a bit, and she just gets demech. Like, it's not even you demeching her, she's just feeding. This is like your Torp actually carrying you and your tank. It's the exact same mistake you did on Junkrat at the start. You kind of go on autopilot, you walk on point, you're like, ChatGPT, where do I go? Starting off the fight just behind your tank is usually bad for DPS. You want to take the position that is good for your hero. What position is good for a soldier? High ground, high ground. Nobody in this game even tried to go high ground. Imagine if you just start out by walking top right, there is no one to contest you, free high ground, and you just kill them. I mean, the diva could probably fly up, you know, but she's already demeched. But like, nobody can really kill you. Like the Reaper, you can look out for the TP. The Junkrat you will kill on longer range. But you just kind of went on autopilot and you're just sitting there. The reason I'm complaining about this is, the higher you go and the better the enemy team becomes, the less this is gonna work. Now, tracking didn't seem too bad so far. Okay. Are you just gonna sit here the entire round? You're just...
The air calls.
You're like, oh my god, a flower. Think about your next move, please. Please don't... Okay, I give up. I've watched you for like 2 minutes and I am disappointed. You hear that ding sound in the back in a second? Here. And as soon as you hear that, oh, the flower is dropping soon. And then you can actually jump to the high ground that stays forever. This is not a flower, this is a building. It will stay there, and it's really good for you. Instead, you just sit on the flower until it breaks. And then what happens is, now you're gonna be out of position. Well, not really out of position, it's still okay, but you're not taking, again, like you're not giving yourself any chances to get valuable pickoffs. Because the only thing you can really shoot right now is the tank. You have no options to do anything but shoot the tank, because it's the only thing you see, because of the angles you take, your positioning. Right? It doesn't matter how good your aim is or anything else about you. If your position is not there, if you don't start out in the right position, if you're not in the correct position to where you can shoot the enemy and they can't punish you, then you will lose the fight, or you will lose the game eventually. Unless the enemy team is even worse, which there may be in this case, but... Is this controller or mouse and keyboard? I actually can't tell. Well, anyways, you have visor. It's still... You definitely didn't watch my soldier tutorial on YouTube, because everything I mentioned you're doing wrong. Like, you also just walked in a straight line, which is like literally like the plat disease. Most of you guys in lower ranks, it's not the aim that holds you back, it's your movement. And you just walked in a straight line into like 5 Junkrat mines or grenades. And you finally, it's so funny. This is the first time where you don't autopilot, right? ChatGPT loaded up, you got through the queue. I play Soldier 76 in Overwatch 2. How do I start an engagement on Oasis? As a Soldier 76 in Overwatch 2, starting a fight on Oasis requires careful positioning in coordination with the team. Here are some tips to help you get started to find the right positioning. Holy sh**. Bro, why are you even watching my videos, guys? Use this instead. Communicate with your team. Before the round begins, communicate with your team to establish a plan. Each section has its own unique layout and vantage points. High ground advantage. Bro, ChatGPT is literally smarter than 99% of Overwatch players. You excel at medium range engagements and take high ground positions can give you a significant advantage. Look for ledges, rooftops, or elevated areas that provide a clear view of the battlefield while keeping you relatively safe. This is actually really f***ing good tips. Watch your flanks, utilize your bardic field, Coordinate with your tanks and supports. Soldier 76 is effective when players alongside tanks and supports can create space and provide you with necessary support. This is me on my stream. Tank diff, support diff. I have no space. It is so good though. Focus on priority targets. In team fights, prioritize squishy enemy heroes, such as supports and damage dealers. I literally just mentioned this earlier. Anyways, that was really good. So, ChatGPT kicked in for you, and you finally take high ground, and it takes you exactly 1 millisecond to get a kill and carry the fight. And look how easy this is for you now. You're just farming. Actually, free fight win instantly, because the enemy team also doesn't understand that you can take high ground. Big rocket! And like once you got to high ground, you finally realize, holy shit, this is really good. So you stay up there. Good job for you. And then the enemy team is like, huh, they solely went high ground and killed all of us. Maybe we should do it too. And now they all run high ground. Let's see how you react. So you see them jump in and you dodge the spear, but they don't like you anymore. Right here. You hear the Reaper teleport and you see it. Where do you think he's gonna teleport, man? He's not going down here, right? Right, he's going right on top of you. You want to bail. It is okay to run back. And yes, you will give up position. And yes, the enemy team will have the advantage. But if you think about it, they already gave up half the advantage. Because a lot of them jumped into middle. And judging by how they played, they would probably also jump down, right? So the correct play there was to probably back out to your team. Hold this, you know. There's still ways to contest a point where your tank is just here and the rest of your team is here. You need to adapt to what you see. When you see 5 people running into your face, that's not usually a good idea to stick around. Okay, let's see how you approach it. So, honestly, I don't mind you forcing the Orisa out there, and then, holy shit, it's like you just changed to a different human being. Now, yeah, you force Orisa back, and you realize high ground is open, and you go for high ground, and then you're just blind. There's an Ana in your line of sight. Maybe you have like one of those like 43, so maybe you don't see it on your screen, but like he's literally right there, right? And you just ignore him. And the funny thing is, Jenna's like, what the fuck is this idiot doing? And she sleeps you, but you get hit by the spear at the same time, so you actually wake up. The enemy Orisa just saved you, basically. You get ripped. He's like, help me with the Reaper, man! The Orisa decided to stagger. What am I watching? How is this planned? Not you, in this case. Like, the Weaver flowers himself and the Orisa up and then just pulls you to the Orisa melee range and jumps off himself. And we're going back. Bro, I complimented you on how you played correctly and then you're going back to your old ways of not thinking. Don't shoot the tank. Right? You see there's multiple people that are low. You just saw a 1 HP Reaper that faded out. You saw a low Ana walking like a meter left, right? And as long as you keep a distance and you stay like here, you can probably kill like their supports. If you're really scared of dying, you can walk backwards to here, play your sidelines and look for the angles on like the Ana or the Lucio. Instead, Patrick, we must shoot the tank. And you lose the fight for it. Every fight you actually played like pretty correctly with like high ground and positioning, you won. Your aim doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying, always. I mean, one more round. Let's see what you have. Okay, we're going Reaper. I think both Soldier and Junkrat are better choices here for this map. Because both on Soldier and Junkrat, you can take high ground and get value. Junkrat, you can control the high ground and stop them from coming up. And on Soldier, you can shoot down to them, right? I think Reaper is pretty situational in the current meta. Like, not great against Orisa. Like, great against something like a monkey to person down. But it can work if you take the off angle. I like that you're... Okay, this is definitely controller, by the way. I figured it out because I can see the auto-aim lock on. I like this off angle. It's a great way to start out the fight. But here is where you should go for the junk. You hear the junk. Flank right, shoot the junk or the Ana, and then if he doesn't work, you can shift out. Let me ignore everyone on the enemy team and shoot the golden Orisa. She's feeding really hard. She's running into you 1v5. But if you look behind you, the enemy team will eventually wake up and follow up. Shooting the Orisa while she's in gold, you get no value. Well, it still worked out for you because your Orisa fed. But again, target priority. This is just like you are just lacking the basics of Overwatch. And I don't mean this in a bad way. Pretty decent aim for this rank on console, I would assume. Like, I don't see you miss a lot. Like, it wasn't horrible so far. And sometimes you have really great ideas, but then sometimes you just go and you don't think. It's like you turn from Albert Einstein into like a bot and then back, you know? Yes! Yes! Why? Why is it? Every single Reaper replay we watched, we always get the Reaper fighting the Pharah at long range. And it worked this time. It's just funny as f, dude. It's always like the Reaper to counter the Pharah, man. I do think you're playing your position correctly here. You're holding them in the chokes. You're forcing the tank out. And honestly, now Reaper is actually better. Now that they're on Ryan. Yeah, Ryan has no clue what he's doing. He's just... I think Ryan is a Trump supporter because he just decided to break the tree because climate change is not real. Fuck the trees. Hashtag team not trees. Bro. I hate when people submit replays where they're winning, where they like flex, because it's like usually their best games. And I assume it's the same for you here, where you submitted this replay because you wanted to show that you're actually stuck in elo hell. You said in your review that you play well 85% of the time or something, and usually it's your supports holding you back, but like, what was your name? Kratos. You're the guy that gets carried in plat, and then you're the first to type GG easy in chat after the game ends. Your score might have looked good this round. You had a few fights where you had really cool ideas. I think your mechanics are pretty good, especially for your rank. But when you say, I feel like I play really good at least 85% of my matches. Define good. I saw a lot of very basic mistakes. I think you need to get back to the basics with you. Like work on your positioning first and foremost, and think about where you should be, and then work on your focus fire. Both of those aspects are really lacking for you. My biggest problems is sometimes I get too arrogant and die, but this game I barely died and got lots of kills. I played a few heroes. Aim is pretty good, I think. Yes, I agree. Okay. And I play my life well most of the time, and that's, I think, where the issue comes in. You have this idea of where you stand behind your tank, and that's you playing safe, but that's also a playstyle that will never make you climb in the long run. Because it's not actually playing safe, it's baiting the team, and usually just sitting there not doing much of anything. Playing safe means knowing where you should be at what time. That's what playing safe means. Playing safe does not mean play behind the tank. Otherwise, very insightful game. I'm glad you submitted it. It's not your team. You got carried there. You suck. Get better. Until next time. See you guys. Bye-bye.
You